February is love month, so we're going to give another third tip on how to know that you're moving into deeper, more mature love. Okay, Dawn, your Natural Hormone Balancing Specialist, here to help you balance your hormones through balancing your life. So it's Heart Month, and anytime we work on our love relationships, we're actually lowering our cortisol and our stress hormones. And a lot of times through touch and sexuality, we're increasing oxytocin, which is going to be so good it's going to be heart regenerative. It helps the cells regenerate. It helps vasodilation, more blood gets to the heart. So this is just good all around, and it's all connected, our heart, our health, and our hormones. So we talked about knowing our partner. Do we really know them? And then we talked about understanding them, because we can know them without understanding them. Then we can understand them without necessarily accepting them, right? So we got to get to that point of accepting some of the things they do, and then appreciate, because I can accept this about him but not appreciate it. So those are the four foundations. The last one is now we're moving into love, but we want to love and we want to celebrate that person. So, when we fall in love, I always fall. Who wants to fall? I tripped into love. Let me say that. It's like, I think it's because we don't have as much control over it. Like the universe or God brings someone in our life. They're there to teach us a lesson. I believe the intimate partner is there to teach you your most deepest spiritual lessons, right? Because if somebody says to me, I don't like your outfit, Dawn, I might be like, who cares? If my partner's like, oh, you really don't look good in that, I'm going to care a lot. So they trigger us, and they're put in our lives to trigger so many different things about us to lead us towards change. So a lot of times we want to leave at that point. This person's causing me problems, when we really should be looking at ourselves. So we finally fall into love. We want to say, I love them in spite of all that. Or do I celebrate the good and the bad, the light and the dark, the shadow side and the light side of this person? I love them warts and all because it makes them who they were. They went through this childhood trauma and they have these issues, but I love them for breaking through that. Sure, it causes some problems, but we're working through it. So a lot of times, it's funny. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. Women marry men hoping that they will change. I'm going to change this guy. He's pretty good, but I got a couple things to change on him, right? Men marry women hoping they'll never change because we're at our peak. We're feeling good. We're sexual. We're fun. And then all of a sudden we go like, oh my gosh, I got the kids. I got this job. I got this other stuff to do. So think about that. We can't really change another person. And hopefully we can maintain some of the fun and the vitality we had when our partner really met us, because that is something important. They don't want to feel like they're marrying this, maybe was it Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? They're marrying one and they're getting the other. So we want to try to maintain that. With men, we got to realize we're getting what we're getting. So we want to make sure that we really know them and that we're accepting them and we're understanding and appreciating. And when we get to that point of love, we can actually celebrate them. Can I really celebrate my partner? And if there's nothing you feel like you can celebrate about them, you want to dig a little deeper. You want to go into your mind and think of all the good things, go into a meditation instead of thinking of the negative things. Because in this world, we basically project, right? So if I feel bad about myself today, right? Really bad, am I going to come home and be like loving to my partner? Probably not, because it's a reflection of ourselves. So if the best we can do is understand how beautiful our spirits are, how divine we are, if you believe in a God or the universe, that we're divine spirits and being, really see how special and beautiful we are and have that connection with the divine, and then we'll project that onto our partner. And that's the most important thing. I am this beautiful, loving, divine being, and so is he. And if that goes vice versa, it's great. So a little tip you can do that can kind of help bond you. I'm always telling people with the stethoscope, listen to your heart. But a fun thing you can do with your partner is just Valentine's Day, maybe before your sexual activity, or, instead of, the other tip on that is don't go out and have a ton of alcohol, chocolate, and heavy food. That's not going to lay the foundation for good sexuality for Valentine's Day, but something like this would. Both sit with your feet crossed. You put your left hand on your partner's heart, and your other hand, and he puts his left hand on your heart, and then you put your right hand on top of his. So basically you each have a hand on each other's heart with the other hand on top, and close your eyes, feel their heartbeat, make sure you get it right there, and then synchronize your breathing. Have some relaxing music and candles on. That's going to be much better than chocolate. Have the chocolate after sex, not before. Anyway, so there were the 6 tips of what we need to do to move along that mature love. And this last tip was to love and actually celebrate your partner. Because remember, anytime you increase your love for someone else or for yourself, you're helping your heart health, you're balancing your hormones, and you're balancing your life. So more tips at BeBalanceCenters.com.